Hello there. Oh, that's wrong. Just realized this computer has basically no space at all because Windows is garbage. It's a trash machine, and also applications by companies like Adobe can just dump garbage all over your computer wherever they want to without any restriction, basically, which is really obnoxious. I love on macOS. Some people are annoyed by it, but the thing on macOS where you can just say, like, no, actually, you can't have access to my home directory. Sorry. No, you can't have access to the desktop. You can't have access to the downloads. Still, they managed to do it. Still, especially Autodesk, for example, loves to just dump garbage where I don't want it. But this computer is perpetually full for no reason. Shouldn't be full. Hi, it's me, Scott. I didn't mean to start complaining, but now I feel like I'm worried I'm not going to be able to stream. The stream's recording to another drive, so it's probably okay. But why is the C drive almost full? No reason at all. Not because of anything I have chosen to do. It's really, really obnoxious and dumb. Anyway, hi. I'm here to do a puzzle. Kind of a mess back there, but look at this. This is very silly, but I like it. Did I actually do all the stuff I'm supposed to do? Did I send the thing and do the thing? I think I did. Hi. Is audio working? Seems to be. Music seems to be working. Look how cute this is. I have this little VHOB bit in it right now. The magnet is very strong. It's almost hard to pull things out. But this is this vessel ratcheting driver that was on sale because it's my new ambition to buy every ratcheting driver that I find interesting, except for the Linus Tech Tips one, because I'm opposed to Linus Tech Tips because he's obnoxious. Sorry, I'm sure it's a very nice driver, but whatever. If you like that channel, you can support it by buying his inflated, overly costly driver. But look how funny this is. So you got this cute little ratcheting driver. It's got kind of the vessel ball grip style. Seems nice, very rigid, actually. Like surprisingly rigid in the lower part. You got a little bit of play up here. But what is so funny and so silly is it's like a trick cane kind of thing, and there's a cute little stubby driver in here with very little wiggle. It's not the best made thing on earth, but it was not terribly expensive. So I don't know, maybe I will keep this. I have a #1 Philips in it right now. VHA bit. Maybe I will just keep this handy as a #1 Philips. It's very cute though. Very cute. Anyway, let's do this puzzle. I'm so behind on everything, whatever. It's this problem right now that I have that I have some slow-moving contract jobs. I don't have the big kind of full-time booking right now, which I don't like, but it's a good way to make money. But I'm just in this state right now where it's like very easy to say everything is low priority. You know, my to-do list is like, not anything on it is critical yet. So basically, I've just been playing Infinite Wealth constantly. Been dog sitting Bowie and playing Infinite Wealth, and that's pretty much been all I'm doing all the time. So I'm trying to break it up by doing this puzzle, basically. So let's jump over here. Let's pick some wallpaper of some kind. Browse what's hot. So this puzzle is called Volts and Arrows. That's pretty. There's this rising and setting sun. Kind of cute. I don't know, kind of thematically where I want to go with this. Music is very somber today. Also, the pretzel player just seems to be broken. Because I'm blaming Song Trader. I think that's who bought them. And people who got Bandcamp. Why is this extremely somber? The stellar clouds are nice. What do we want to do? Sorry, I'm just shopping for wallpaper. This music is so somber. Also, the player just seems to be broken. Well, this is embarrassing. Looks like we've hit a bum note. Please refresh and try again. Just doesn't work anymore. Just cool. I don't really know how to make it work. I don't know why we're listening to sad We listen to just chill hop? How about that? What a piece of crap. Can we just not have music anymore because Song Trader bought Pretzel and ruined it after it worked fine for years? Kind of seems that way. It's just not work anymore? Okay, I can't skip this track. I can't try a different label. Garbage. Does none of this work? Okay. I don't really want to listen to this, but it's what's available. It seems less somber. Oh no, I didn't mean to close it. Oh no. Oh no. Come back. Okay. And then we were picking wallpaper as well. This is a little much, but I kind of like it. I don't know. Why is this part so hard? Interesting. Pretty. I'm not really, that's pretty as well, but just so fast. You love this. Wow. Okay. No one's here to tell me this is too busy, right? I'm just gonna do it. Sorry, everybody. Anybody who watches this in the future. Blobz, if you're watching. Blobz, I think, just likes to listen to this while doing housework. That's my understanding. Okay, so let's restart this and try to understand this puzzle because it is a rule set I'm not familiar with. So, normal Sudoku rules, got it. Digits on arrows may repeat, but must sum to the digit in the attached circle, got it. Digits in volt cages may repeat. So this is an unusual rule set for cages that you can have repeated digits, which obviously we have to because there's more than 9 cells in there. Digits in volt cages may repeat. Digits orthogonally adjacent to a volt may not be included within that volt. Does that mean that this digit cannot be anywhere inside this whole thing? That seems impossible. That seems outrageous, in fact. Does that mean that these 4 digits are also the same as these 4 digits? And also the same? No. These 4 digits are the same as these 4 digits, I guess, is what that means. Interesting. Okay. Well, I don't know where to start, so let's start in some easy arrow places, because this is a pretty big number. So even if this was 2 and this was 1, this would be at least 7. So this is 7, 8, or 9. This, similarly, this is a minimum of 3. Plus 3 is 6, 7, 8, 9. This becomes less interesting because then suddenly this can be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and so on. So I don't know if that's very exciting. A tomato. Who threw that? Let's just check out arrows and see what we think about them. So this is a relatively high number that is never going to appear. So this digit, if I understand these rules, which I may not, digits in volt cages, digits orthogonally adjacent to a volt may not be included within that volt. So my understanding is that this digit may not appear anywhere in here. Right? Skojo, how's it going? I'm trying to understand these volt rules. So am I understanding correctly that this digit, because it is orthogonally adjacent to this volt, may not appear anywhere in here? Oh my gosh, Blobz, how's it going? Vix! That's all you need to do is throw tomatoes at me. How's it going? No, that seems totally reasonable. Throwing tomatoes at me seems very reasonable. Blobz, speaking of 6502s, I don't know if you've been following Ben Eater's latest streams. He just got Microsoft Basic running up and running on the 6502 computer he's been building from scratch, which is pretty good. So he'd been working on getting Wasmon to run on it, and then he basically came up with a simple BIOS for his 6502 computer, and in this most recent video he ports, kind of a weird way to put it, but adapts a copy of MS Basic to run on his computer so he can run basic programs now. Pretty good. Okay, Skojo's getting back on topic here. Anyway, whenever I see anything 6502 related, I now think of you, Blobz. Vix, how's it going? Vix. Okay, so according to Skojo, green cannot appear anywhere in this cage. Green over yonder is kind of interesting because it's not anywhere in the cage. It is not here. So we're saying green is here or here. Is that true? Is it winter storm time in New York? It's like unseasonably been like kind of unseasonably nice in Portland. We had terrible winter storms some weeks ago, but it hasn't been too shabby lately. I didn't realize New York was under threat. I keep forgetting it's February though, because it's kind of nice here. I'm sure we will have terrible weather soon. Okay, so what we're saying is, so the deal is though, is that it's pretty hard for green to be here, but unfortunately it's not impossible. Because if green was 6, meaning this is a 1-2 pair, or a 2-1 pair, and we try to put the 6 here, then this could be 1-2 to make this 9. So it's just green, I think, annoyingly can still be. I forgot how to do this. This way? Could be there or there. It's true. Yeah, it's pretty weird. Yeah, strange weather extremes becoming more frequent. Portland getting like into the teens and becoming an ice wasteland, and then also getting into the 100 in teens and becoming a heat. No, Vix, I just need moral support. That's all. Yeah, this is pretty good background. This is Ray marching. I don't have a ton of experience with Ray marching. I've experimented with a little bit a few years ago on a project. This seems to run pretty well for ray marching. The idea is like, people are familiar with the idea of ray tracing for lighting, like bouncing light around. Ray marching is more like defining geometry by having an equation that sort of defines the boundary of a geometry. So rather than having a mesh made of triangles, you sort of poke around, you touch it enough to kind of feel, to determine the shape of something. I know in the context of SDS. Helio, how's it going? Okay, I'm not making much progress here. So let's think about the same thing here in terms of where this is allowed to be, because this seems more fruitful. Oh no, it doesn't. Never mind, because it is inside. So this digit is in the volt. And these are insane cages where it is perfectly fine to repeat within a volt. Okay, but that's interesting for like the opposite way. So if we think about this volt, we were able to sort of say, because of this adjacency, we just know that green is never allowed in the volt. If we look now at this box, okay, this is cool. Obviously, red is not here, here, or here. But if we put red here, it would be adjacent to this volt, and that wouldn't be allowed. So red can't be here or here. And if we put red, wait, I'm sorry, did that wrong. We can't put red here because it would be adjacent to these two digits and ruin everything. Similarly, if we try to put red here, it would be adjacent to those two digits and ruin everything. Oh, I'm so glad everybody could stop by. So everyone just working from home today? Monday morning. I was worried I was just going to be streaming to myself, which is fine. I've done it a lot. So I guess that kind of, I don't know this, I'm still trying to wrap my head around this rule set, honestly, but I think that means that we're sort of requiring red to be in the volt here, because otherwise it's either sees red or it's going to be adjacent to the volt in a way that causes problems. Skojo's working from work, which means Skojo's trapped in a puzzle box right now. Skojo, I'm interested in the job that you do, but I don't want to ask questions about it because I like my imagined version. Where you're like, it's almost like a Houdini-esque thing where you test your escape rooms by forcing yourself to escape from them. So you're basically a master escape artist who cannot be held by any chains. Okay, as we have similar considerations over here for where red lives. Red is not here, obviously, and by rules of adjacency, if we put red here, we've got problems. And if we put red here, we've got problems. So red is upstairs here, which is not really a revelation, I suppose. Still don't feel like I quite have my head wrapped around here. Oh my gosh, also from home. Everybody's just, this is great. Cheerful, I'm sorry, I forgot if it's Jan or Yan. Did we ever determine that? Cheerful Jan/Yan B? Or Yan? Okay, so I am slightly, sort of vaguely starting to understand this a little tiny bit. One thing we haven't really thought about, well, this is kind of wild. Okay. So we know that like these 4 digits are the same as these 4 digits. Is that true? These 4 digits must be these 4 digits. Must be up here somewhere. Jump. Janby. Okay, so one thing we haven't really thought about is like 2, for example, is ruled fully out of this world, which is kind of interesting. This song is terrible. Not into it. Let me just skip this. Pretzel is so broken. I feel like Pretzel worked fine for me for years, and then one day the logo changed to say Pretzel by Songtrader, and then just has not worked properly since. It's pretty impressive. I'm gonna do something possibly unwise. So is Pretzel just broken now? Okay, so in thinking about like 1s can't be in here anywhere, which is kind of interesting. 3s also can't be in here anywhere. So we know that 1s and 3s exist in here somewhere. Do we know that about anybody else? I feel like I'm being very slow to wrap my head around this. These can't be very big, by the way. This song also horrible. This song's called Fun Pop. It's gotta be good, right? It's hard for this digit to be red. In fact, it's impossible for this digit to be red, right? If we try to make this digit red, even if it's a 7, what are we gonna do here? So that digit, I'm gonna say that digit's never red. Ones and threes are not allowed in here. Twos are not allowed in there. This is a little annoying because this little hook means that this could be like 1, 2, 1. Well, it actually couldn't. Because that can't be 1. This is a minimum of 2. Okay, I can feel that there's something here that I'm just not seeing. So I'm just going to be annoying for a minute and just start pencil marking some things more aggressively. So this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? Because that is a minimum of 3. This is a minimum of 2. Because it can't be 1. So this is also 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So relatively high, but not super duper high. Which makes sense, because we know 1 is not in there. 3 is not in there. These can't be super duper high, right? And this is obviously not 1 or 3. This digit can't be more than 4. So this digit is 1, 2, 3, or 4. Because we have a 4 here, so this can't sum to more than 5. So you get a 4, 1. It's obviously not 1 or 3. So that can only be a 2 or a 4. If it's a 4, that is 4 plus 4. So that which would be 8. So this could only be 1 to be a 9. If it was 2, it'd be 4, 5, 6. Which could be 1, 2, or 3. But it's quite low. We kind of, that fence is in the 4 somewhat. I'm trying to decide if that thing, because we just don't know about 4 in terms of this volt just yet. I'm positive I'm missing very obvious things. We know 1 and 3 can't be in here, well, obviously because they're seen, but they also can't be in this cage. It does mean 1 and 3 are over here. Because 1 and 3 are not in the vault, and they're not here. So 1 and 3 are in this corner. Jojo, how's it going? Missing obvious things is a it's a fine art, actually. It's a kind of cultivated obliviousness that is not easy. How's it going? I'm sure there's some incredibly obvious thing here. Positive. So, in terms of what... Just thinking about... Feels like we know so much in terms of... I mean, okay, right. We do know... The 1 and 3, again, we know some... One and 3 are in here somewhere for sure. And 1 and 3 are in here somewhere for sure. But annoyingly, we can cry. I need one more digit that I know lives in there. It's true. It's absolutely true. I always go through and I solve the puzzle off stream. It takes me like 5-10 minutes tops. You know, if I'm distracted. And then I come and I draw it out for 90 minutes for content. Oh, see, Helio. That is interesting. That is a good next step from the thing I was just saying and then just letting fall flat, right? So, Helio is calling out... oh, sorry, you said row 9 column 3. I thought you said I've somehow read that as row 3, column 9, which I think is also potentially interesting. In that it can't. Okay, I'm going to look at this, which is not what you said at all. You said row 9, column 3, which is here, which is completely not where I was looking. But let me just, I mistakenly thought you said row 3, column 9. So let's look at row 3, column 9 for 1 second, because it is a little bit interesting, because it is slightly high. In that we've just said that 1, 2, and 3 live in... No, we didn't. I'm sorry. We said 1 and 3 live in there, not 2. So could that still be 2? We know it's not a 1, and we know it's not a 3. But actually... if this is a 4, this is a 1. So that could still be a 2. So never mind. This was not interesting. The mistaken place that I thought you were looking is not at all cool or interesting or likable. But you were talking about this cell, and you said it's interesting, and I believe you. So we know this cell. What do we know about it? We know this cell. We know there's no 2s in this volt. Vault? But nobody thought that was a 2 ever anyway. This annoyingly could be a 1, and this could be a 1. This arrow? Did I get this wrong? Wait, did I get that wrong? Couldn't be this be... Couldn't this be 3, 2, 1 to be 6? This song is awful. Oh my god, now this song stressed me out. Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry, I'm missing a couple things. So this 3 arrow, you're saying, because if that was a minimum 7, we would know something about it. Am I missing something here? I thought we could have 3 plus 2 plus 1. Because I think a 1 is allowed in this cage. A 2 isn't, but the 2 could be here. In fact, the 2 is... Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. You said the box 3 arrow. I read it as the 3 arrow. I'm sorry. I thought you meant the arrow with the 3 on it. I apologize. The box 3 arrow, this arrow. I'm doing a very good job at misunderstanding where people are telling me to look today. This is why I need tomatoes. Tomatoes, there's no question about it. They did move box 3. I don't know if you caught that memo, though. The International Consortium, of which Skojo is the head. Okay, I apologize. So we were going to look at this, and then I got distracted, and then... So, presumably there's some similar things going on here. So let me just think about this for 1 second. We know... What do we know about this? We don't have any exclusions here yet. In here, we've excluded 2. So... But couldn't this be... Couldn't this be 1 plus 2 plus 1? One plus 2 plus 1. Isn't that okay? We know 1 is in this neighborhood somewhere. 1 plus 2 plus 1. I feel like I'm just missing obvious things. Okay, let's look at this arrow, and then I need to double down. I feel like I'm really struggling with the music today. I feel like last time we lucked out and got a really good playlist. So is this not also... we decided it was possible for this to be 2. We have no exclusions in here. Oh, we have lots of exclusions in here. Well, in here. So this is a minimum. Okay, yes, thank you. This makes sense. what the nature of this line? What is the minimum we could have in here? We can have a 2, but we can't have a 1 or a 3, right? So the minimum we could have here is this could be a 2. Well, let's put it this way. It could be 2, 4 is maybe our minimum for 6, and then this can't be a 1. So the minimum here is actually an 8. Does that sound correct? That this is an 8 or a 9? Because, just one more time, there's no 1s or 3s in this volt. So this is minimum 2 plus 4 equals 6. This can't be a 1. In fact, it'd have to be 4 plus 2, I guess. Sorry, 2 plus 4 plus 2 would be the way that we would make an 8. 2 plus 4 plus 2. So, if that's true, are we required to have a 2 here? Because if we don't have a 2 here, this is 4 plus 5 equals 9 plus something else. Is that true? That there has to be a 2 here or here? If there's no 2 here or here, the minimum here is 4 plus 5 equals 9. And then things are broken. So there's definitely a 2 here. Oops. And if there's a 2 here, we know there can't be a 2 here because that'd be by the laws of adjacency. So that becomes a 1 or a 3. Yeah. 2, 5, 2. Is this always a 2? No, you could have 2, 4, 3, right? But this 2 needs to pair with either a 4 or a 5. Because if it paired with 6, this would have to be a 1. So this is a 2 paired with either 4 or 5. Does that sound true? And there's definitely a 2 in here, and it's got to pair with 4 or 5. And that's 1, 2, 3 here, but not 1 because of that. So that's only a 2 or a 3. Life is yours. How's it going? Yeah, we're working on a weather map. How's the weather? So... Oh, JoJo's had a breakthrough. Life is yours. How are you? I've missed you. How's everything going? How are things in Norway? Okay, so what do we know here? So we've said what? That this is either 2, 4 equals 6 plus 2 or 3 equals 8 or 9, or it's 2, 5 equals 7 with a 2 equals 9. We said that this could be red. Can't rule 5 out of here just yet. It's snowing in Norway, not surprising. Okay, right. Yes, JoJo's pointing out we aren't done with our logic here. Because one of the things I just said is there's definitely a 2 in here. There's absolutely a 2 in here. We used it to rule out this 2, but the same problem's here. Even though this is in a volt, it is adjacent. We know there's a 2 in here, so by putting a 2 here, we break things. So that means there's not a 5 in here. Because that would 5, 2, 7, 10. It can only be 2, 4 is 6 plus 3 is 9, right? So this becomes a 2, 4 pair. Are we in agreement here? That's 6, so this is a 9. It means that's not a 9. We get a 2, 4 pair here. We still know that 1 and 3 have to live in this land somewhere. We got it. No, we got it. We got a digit. That's true. Look at those 2 digits. Very exciting. Is it I don't know what's wrong with my brain today. I'm finding this music extremely distracting. Blobz is always like, I don't know. I don't know how Blobz tolerates this, frankly. I don't know if this is like, he gets the same enjoyment out of this as like watching someone fall down on a skateboard or something like that. I just don't. How do you, how do you watch someone struggle? We knew, so this 3 is fine because we already knew there was a 1. We already knew 3 was excluded from this cage because of this. That was already fine. We know that 1 is also excluded, so it's perfectly fine for any of those to be a 1. There's one other digit that's excluded. This is funny. This like hurts my brain to see this a 2-4 triple inside of a cage, but that's the world we live in. So we removed 9 as an option here, and we already have 3. So these 2 digits have to sum to 3, 4, or 5. Which means they have to be very low. Right? The most, so 1, 2, 3, 4 are the ways, the most we could have here is a 5. Sorry, here, because it would be 3 plus 5 equals 8. And the only way to make 5 in 2 digits is from 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, 2 and 4 are ruled out of here. If you can't have a 2 here, you can't have a... No, you can. Sorry. Never mind. You can't have a 2 here. But to say something that wasn't true, that would only be true if this was 8. And you can't have a 4 here. So that is either 1 or 3, for sure. If this was 3 plus 3, that would be 6. So this would have to be 1 or 2. If this was 3 plus 1, that would be 4, and it could be any of those digits. Yeah, the problem is the Sherlock Holmes and Moriarty does not stand up well, because in that case it's 2 masterminds. In this, it's like a goofball. I'm trying to think of what's a good analogy for that. Is a mastermind and then someone that just like stumbles through. The best I can come up with is like Maxwell Smart and get smart. Although I'm not even sure the criminal masterminds in that were that masterful. Turner and Hooch? I don't think. Wait. Turner and Hooch were partners. I kind of miss that era though. Weirdly, I conflate Turner and Hooch with K9 in my mind. There was like there's a long series like back to President Ronald Reagan, right? With like a co-starring with an animal, right? That's how Ronald Reagan won the presidency, basically, because of Bonzo. Johnny English. Is that Rowan Atkinson? Oh yeah. Okay, I was confusing it momentarily with the Johnny Dangerously, which is a forgotten Michael Keaton movie with a lead, like a soundtrack. Maybe not the whole soundtrack, but at least a major track on the soundtrack by Weird Al. Johnny Dangerously is a pretty good name for a movie. Pretty good name. I don't think it's a very good movie, but great name. Okay, so I'm getting distracted again. I apologize. So this 9 tells us this music sounds like bad reject. Like, I guess this channel is 80s VHS. It's not good. Try surprising me. It's gonna be jazzy. Okay, what are we doing? Anybody? We got a 3 over here. That's kind of nice. let's think about Sudoku for a minute, I guess. 3 is over here. 3 is not... Oh, well that's... interesting. Okay. 3 is over here. 3 is not here because of the laws of adjacency. So we do have a 3. Oops. A 3 there. That means that there is a 3 in this cage. But I keep thinking the wrong thing about that, actually. It doesn't rule out what I was just about to argue that it ruled out. We know there's no 3 in here. We don't know what the other half of this 1-3 pair is at this moment in time. I don't think we do, anyway. The other half of this 1-3 pair is definitely in here. That's slightly interesting. It's not that interesting. This is not interesting, but I'm going to say it. The other half of this 1-3 pair is over here. Right? Because 1 and 3 can't be in the cage, can't be up here. This 1-3 pair has to pair with somebody, and its buddy is here. So 1 and 3 are already spoken for in the column. So actually 1, 2, 3, and 4 are spoken for in the column. But I don't know that I care about that at all. In other words, we know this is not 1, 2, 3, 4, or 9. So this is a 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, okay. But that does matter. We do care about it. I take it back. We care about it a lot. So 1 and 3, I saw that tomato. Yeah, just make sure that I really think this is true. 1 and 3 are not anywhere in this vault. 1 and 3 are not up here. The other half of this 1-3 is here. So that's 1-3. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, which is a crazy, that's just astonishing that there's no 1, 2, 3, or 4 on here. The biggest digit we could ever have here is a 6, because this is always going to sum to, at a minimum, 3. No, it actually, okay, interesting. This is not 1, 2, 3, or 4, right? This digit, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. We said there's no 1, 2, 3, or 4. There's obviously not 9. It's obviously not 8. It's obviously not 7, because this would have to be double 1, and that would have to be a 9. One might think that it could be 6, but it actually can't be, because the only way this could be 6 is if this was a 1-2 pair to sum to 3, but there's no 2s allowed in this vault. So this is a 5. What a shock. That means this is not green also. That means this is green. So that means this is 6, 7, or 8. Which makes sense. That means there's no 5s allowed in this world or 2s allowed in this world. And it means that green is down here, but this green could be blue. I'm getting rid of blue. I think green and blue. Green could be blue. Possibly. So that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this column. And this can't be 9. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 6, 7, or 8. This is all, well, it's 1, 3 paired with 6, 7, 8, or 9. I saw a tomato. It's probably true. We should probably think about these, right? These can only be, if this is a 9, which it seems like it could be at this moment. 5, well, okay. This is only going to be, oh wait, gosh, good grief. We already said there's not a 2 in here. We said there's no 2 in here. So the minimum this can be is 1, 3, which is 4 already. So this has to be a 9. So this is 5, 1, 3. So that becomes a 9. So 9 is in the cage. Which means 9... Okay, sorry. I have to stand up for 1 minute. I'll be right back. Excuse me. A number swirl? Is there a number swirl as well? I mean, there is like that. There is a what is that effect called? Now I'm forgetting it. My joke is ruined because I forgot the name of that effect. Coriolis? Is that what it's called? What is that effect called? We need Grimbone here to tell me which way his toilet flushes. Coriolis effect? Is that right? It means that if you're in the southern hemisphere, the digits in this puzzle go the opposite way. Has anybody set a... this really kind of does look like Coriolis effect. Has anyone set a puzzle based on the Coriolis effect? Helio, Blobz, Gojo, are you up for the challenge? Look at this. It already looks like a Sudoku grid, basically. You need a new kind of arrow. I mean, it's very close. This looks very similar. Okay, I forgot what we were just saying. We were saying that this is definitely 1 and 3. Which means this is definitely a 1-3 pair for sure, right? There's nothing else this could be. 2 is not allowed in here, and that means this can't be 1 or 3 because it would break the rules of adjacency. So that's not 1 or 3. So this is 2 or 4. Which still lets this be 6. One of these has to be low. 1 or 3 here. This is not 5. Didn't we say that this could be 4 though? I mean, so we know some things about this. Like 1, 3, and 9 are have to be protected. Did we lose the ability to make 7? We may have. Yeah, I think we've lost the ability to make 7 because 3 plus 2 would be 5, which would be 6 or 8, and 3 plus 4 would already be 7. So I think you're right. I think there can be no 7 here. Wait, what just happened? I can pin my cheers now. Try it. Sure. I can't cheer in my own channel. That was a weird thing to just happen. Twitch just... Okay, that means no 7 here, which is great. So that's 6 or 8. 6 or 8 are forbidden, but not 6 and 8. So I have to say something about this that was not true. In terms of what must be protected, 1, 3, and 9 are protected by the rules of adjacency from ever being here. But I don't think that really matters. It means 1, 3, or 9. Well, actually, we know there's not another 1, 3 right here, right? Because we've said it lives up here. And 1 and 3 see all of those. So there is a 1, 3 in here. Like the partner to this 1, 3 lives in here. Does that matter to anybody? I don't know that I think that matters. I think it's kind of cool. Sorry, you say no repeat digits on the row 9 arrow? This arrow? Well, but you can repeat in these cages. Or am I misunderstanding? God, I feel like we're really striking out with music today. This is very disappointing. Pretzel used to be reasonably good. Okay, so I feel like thinking about these arrow tips has been fruitful to us thus far, so I kind of want to think more about these. Oh, I'm sorry. You mean, wait, Rafis a lot? Hello. Okay, I misunderstood. I'm getting very distracted by the music for reasons I don't understand. This, this music is also terrible. Waffles. Why are we only finding terrible music today? It's really disappointing. I don't know what to do. I'm truly distracted by this awful music. Okay. Sorry, we were talking about this hero. Or this hero. This music, also terrible. I know, we should break out the musical chair. I gotta finish the freaking... the musical chair. I really apologize. This music is so distractingly horrible. And now I've gotten signed out of Pretzel for some reason. And it's really disappointing because Pretzel used to be fine. It used to be totally fine. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It was just okay. And I feel like the last few times I've streamed, it's just gotten so bad. Like, why did it just sign me out? Who can say? Now I have to sign into Twitch again, and it's making me log into Twitch. Cool. Garbage. It's all garbage. Now can I listen to your terrible music, please? Okay, I don't know what to do with music. I'm just gonna start singing instead. Okay, so sorry, I feel like my head is not wrapped around this. So the last thing I was talking about, okay, sorry, just trying to recalibrate here. I was saying there's a 1 and 3 definitely in here. The other half of this 1-3 is definitely in here. We said this could be 3. Trying to think about 3 in terms of... This music is so bad. Okay, I apologize. I like cannot concentrate at all with how awful this music is. It's so impressively terrible. I'm just shocked. It's all so bad. Oh my gosh. Okay. Sorry, Ruffles, you're saying place a 3 in box 9. I see. Okay, so, right. We're talking about... We want to think about 3s up here. 3s are definitely not in here anywhere. That is not a 3. That means that 3 is... And this is not a 3. We know there's a 3 here or here. Is that what we're really trying to say? No 3s are here. That's not a 3, that's not a 3. This is not a 3 because it's forbidden by boxness. That's not a 3. So 3 is certainly in here somewhere, which sees this 3. So that's a 1 and that's a 3. Okay, sorry for all the fuss there. 3 then. And we already said we know that the 1, 3 is already here. So in this box, 3 is not there or there or there. 3 is not here because the buddy is up here. But that could still be 3, right? So 3 is here or here. We definitely know 3. Oh, okay. We definitely know 3 is in here. So neither of these are 3. And that's not 3. Okay, let me think about this for a second. So over here, sorry, I see you going chat. Chat, I feel like you're getting impatient. Chat's getting impatient. Jojo, it's a playlist. It's a service that is supposed to let you put it into a mode where you don't get copyright flags on YouTube, even though even then I still get copyright flags. So it already doesn't do its job very well. And then they've made it worse and worse trying to get you to pay for it. And recently Song Trader purchased it, and I feel like they've just made it even worse. Yeah, I know. The Chill, unfortunately, just has a big lock on it now. So you have to pay for Chill. I don't want to. I don't want to pay for this. There is a 30% off. Oh no, I can't disappoint Blobz. Can't enter my credit card info. I thought it was going to show me pricing. I feel like we're a year or two away of just like pure AI music. Like, this is insane. I'm not going to pay $6 a month for music that still gets me copyright strikes. It's just so unreasonable. So, and I accidentally just closed the window. Dang it. What needs to happen is I need Grimbone just to do a bunch of chill beats. Yeah, sorry, Blobz. You only have to listen to terrible music. The thing that is really annoying and is so frustrating is even these things... Yeah, Ben, fully agree. Okay, I don't know what to do. Like, I feel like the music is actually truly distracting me from solving the puzzles. We were trying to do 3 over here, right? And we know 3 is seen by those, but by rules of adjacency, we can't put 3 here or here because it will see up here, right? So that does mean 3 is in here somewhere, and 3 definitely can't be here. This music is so bad. I don't know what to do. Is there an alternative that's just like Pretzel, but like... We found one a few weeks ago when Pretzel was broken and tried it, and it was also awful. Oh yeah, Skojo, what's your channel? I don't want to steal Skojo's trap. Yeah, right. If I was in a training sequence right now to fight the bad guy, then yes, of course, fine. Then that music is fine. But I'm not currently in a bad guy training sequence. Currently, that could change at any moment. We know 3 is up here. That music just got very sultry. It's embarrassing to be tilted by the music, but what are you gonna do? What actually can go here? Yeah, but Ruffles, the Blobz only watches this because of the music. The VODs, it's key. The chill beats are how I lure people in. Okay, I'm gonna try not to get distracted by the music. Bouncy Bear. I don't use Spotify though. Okay, so sorry, I just need to get my head back in the game now that we have sultry BB King jazz going. Oh, well, we've definitively placed 4 is definitely in the box now, right? So surely that puts pressure on 4 here. 4 is obviously not there. 4 can't be there, and 4 can't be there. But I guess annoyingly, this could be 4. 4 is not red. That's true. We know that red is a highish digit, but 4 could be there. Raffles, you're being a little... I don't like super explicit hints. I've like just telling you where to look is totally fine, but I definitely don't like super explicit. It makes me just not look at chat. Okay, this music is so bad. Sorry, everybody. I'm getting very annoyed and distracted by the music. So, ones... Maybe this is what you're pointing out. This 1 means there's no 1s in here. That's not a 1. 1 can't be in the box. That's not a 1. Okay, so maybe that's what you're saying is 1 good. So, yeah, 1's definitely not in there, and 1's not there or there. Oops. So that does place the 1. Which means over here... Because 1 can't be there. 1 is allowed to be here. I see. So 1 is going to be down here, either here or here. Which I think is still okay. That's funny. So the 1... We have a 2-4 pair also, by the way. This 2-4 pair, we know 1 and 3 can't be here, so this is relatively high. It does mean we have to be kind of thoughtful about 9s as well. Unless 9s are just in the container. I know, now we have like nice holiday. Ruffles, no need to apologize. I should have some... I should put that in, like, notes somewhere. Where are we gonna find some chill beats? Free chill beats. I could just make a chill beats generator. I feel like I could do that. I built lots of music creation things. I need to work on... I have a project coming up that I gotta figure that out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We do know there's a low digit here, though. So what are we saying about 1s? This is not a 1. But we still think this could be a 3? Or are we saying this has to be a 3? I don't think we're saying it has to be a 3 yet. Okay, so we haven't thought about this. These little nubbins seem kind of interesting to me. Like, this is pretty restrictive. Yeah. Okay, we should be thinking about this. This cannot be 1 or 3, obviously, but it also can't be 2 or 4. So this is another case of having to be very high. So it's obviously not 9. It's not 8, because that would never be 2. It's not 7, because that would have to be double 1. So can it be 6? We said it could only be 6 if this is a 1-2 pair. Well, this is minimum of 3 either way. So this is either 8 or 9. So this is 5, 6, 7. So that's either 8 or 9. So if this cannot sum to more than 4. So these digits are at least from the set 1, 2, and 3 because it can't be more than 4. It could only be... There has to be a 1 in here. Is that what we're saying? That one of these has to be a 1? Because if it wasn't, it'd be 2 plus 3, and that would be 5, so that would be 10. So there's definitely a 1 in here, and since that can't be the 1, this has to be the 1. Maybe we already knew that. So this is either 1 plus 5 plus 3, or 1 plus 6 plus 2. Is that how we're feeling? 1 there is okay. Who else is ruled out of here? 1 is forbidden from being in here. There's another high digit that's not allowed to be inside here. No one knows what it is. It's impossible to know. 1... Thinking about this 1, that can't be 1. Maybe it's not that interesting yet. This music. Now I feel bad because I feel like I'm ruining Blobz this morning. Everybody's just trying to work from home today and wants some chill music, and now we have this, like, reject soundtrack music. It's truly heartbreaking. 1 is definitely down here. Makes me want to think about this. Country? This sounds like country music to you? This ain't country. Yeah, it's just quite a bit of leeway here, right? I do want to know about, we haven't, this can't be 2 or 3, obviously. Did you just call that music country music? There's nothing country about that music. No way. Outrageous. Are you a Norwegian arguing with me, a Texan, about what is or isn't country music? This is a shock. I'm shocked. At best, you could maybe call that music Americana. It's definitely not country. No way. No way. Where are we putting the 1 in here? We were just thinking about that, and then I got distracted by these outrageous claims. Even the 1 in this column is a little weird to think about, right? Because it's not there. 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 Toby Keith sucks. I mean, rest in peace and all that, but Toby Keith is on the short list of people that ruined country music. He is part of the downward trend. He might have been the nail in the coffin. It was already pretty ruined by then. He has some... That is exactly right. I like both kinds of music, country and western, and Toby Keith doesn't. That's like, whatever. hick nonsense. Pickup truck rock. Why a Texan is in Portland? Because Texas is unfortunately a terrible hellscape. Sad. I heard this makes me sad. I used to be proud to be from Texas, and now what an awful place with an awful governor, awful lieutenant governor, awful criminal attorney general, just straight up criminal attorney general, just doing everything they can to harm people in as many ways as they can possibly think of. It sucks. I'm ashamed of my home state. Very hard place to be if you are a woman, if your skin isn't white, if you are not a straight white Christian man. Tough break if you live in Texas, sad to say. Toby Keith, are you sending me wait, why are people memorializing Toby Keith's son? Why are people tagging? Wait, what? Why? It's sad. It makes me sad. I'm sad about Texas. There's like a part of my personality that is like fundamentally Texan, and it just. Where are we putting 5 in here? Five is not here. 5's not allowed to be in the cage. Is this a 5? Is that true? And then 5's over here somewhere? Are these true statements I'm making? There's a certain like I don't know. There's some character traits that I have that I value, that I associate with with Texas. But old school country I like. All of the best music is old school country music. Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't even know where to start. I guess you like start with I know his name is escaping me. I can't believe I can't think of him. The whistling, let's see. What is the song I'm thinking of? All Around the Water Tank. Anyway, I've been listening a lot to Roger Miller lately, which I'm sure he's kind of folky country, but I've been listening. He did the Robin Hood soundtrack, so I'm listening to a lot of Roger Miller. I like Roger Miller a lot. Yeah, all the best music. Okay, like here's the best way to do this. Let's just go to my YouTube music, see what I've been listening to lately. I'm sure one of the first big recommendations will be like classic country hits. Like if we just do what I've been listening to. Okay, listen to it again. This was the fact that they got Willie Nelson for the Red Dead Redemption 2 soundtrack. That song is outstandingly great. That Roger Miller album's great. I've been listening to Golden Country recently. Do love Roger Miller. How do I see just like doesn't it have some kind of like yeah, my super mix. Let's see what's on my super mix. I'm guessing it's like half country music. Got Mary Hopkin, Tim Croce's more folk. Waylon Jennings, about as country as you get. Willie. Chris Christopherson. This is a funny one. Not a lot of people would understand that Me and Bobby McGee, because they've only heard the Janis Joplin version, is a country song. And literally when you play this, the first thing he says is, well, if it sounds country, that's what it is. It's a country song. It's amazing. You got Hank Jr., which this is a good song. Hank Jr. is not necessarily my favorite, but that's a great song. George Strait, he's the singer of Amarillo by Morning. Oceanfront Properties classic. Dolly and Kenny, this is one of the greatest country music songs of all time. Islands in the Stream. Tanya Tucker, not quite my favorite. Marty Robbins. Loretta Lynn. Coal Miner's Daughter is what everybody knows, but my favorite song by her is Fist City. is an incredible song. Lefty Frizzell, Saginaw, Michigan, a nonsense, ridiculous song, but it's amazing. Stuart Hamlin. So, yeah, you've got like lots of indie rock mixed in with country music. Hank, Willie and Merle. It's a surprising amount of Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young here. I think it's because I've been listening a lot to this Birds. There's a Birds album that's basically a country song, or a country album. Sweetheart to the Rodeo. Sweetheart to the Rodeo. Great album. There we go. There's George. So you've got Heat Miser, which was a local Portland band. It was Elliott Smith's band before he went solo, next to George Strait singing Amarillo Morning. What you will notice is there's basically all the country music on here is basically from like the 40s and 50s to the 90s. Basically nothing after the mid-90s. Mid-90s, you still had like Randy Travis, you still had Dwight Yoakam. There were still some people making good country music, but people like Alan Jackson and Toby Keith ruined it. Ruined it. Yeah, I don't even quite know what to call that kind of music. Sorry, I got very distracted by the puzzle. Johnny Cash? I like Johnny Cash. I will say I think I maybe like oversaturated on Johnny Cash when I was young. So I have no complaints about Johnny Cash. It's just that there's some musicians that it's like, oh, I listened to this so much, like a lifetime's worth when I was young. And so I don't really seek out Johnny Cash as much anymore. But that was, you know, maybe because when I was a teenager, I had Ring of Fire on repeat. Hurt? I was never a Nine Inch Nails fan, so I was never super into the Nine Inch Nails version of Hurt. The Johnny Cash version, I loved that he did that. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite. But I would probably choose the Johnny Cash version of Hurt. The weird thing, I kind of only recently really got into Chris Christopherson, which not a lot of people know this, that he got his start by showing up at Johnny Cash's house in a helicopter to give him his demo tape, which is pretty wild. And Johnny Cash recorded Sunday Morning Coming Down, which was like, I think a lot of people would think of as a Chris Christopherson's quintessential song, but I don't really love that as a Chris Christopherson penned song, and I don't really love it as a Johnny Cash performance. Oh, really? I mean, it's good. It's good. I like it. What would I pick as my favorite Johnny Cash song? That's a hard one. Probably Folsom Prison Blues. Okay, I'm getting very distracted talking about country music. My favorite jams right now, I really have been deep into the Robin Hood soundtrack, Roger Miller. If I just, at any moment, if I just close my eyes and just let a song appear in my head, there's a good chance that it will be King of the Road by Roger Miller. Like, for some reason, there's a handful of songs that are just like basically always playing in my head somewhere, and King of the Road is one of them. Roger Miller's just got one of those voices, and his voice on the Robin Hood soundtrack, masterful. Okay, I've completely lost track on this puzzle because I got too excited by country music. God, this music's bad. I think often, like when Willie Nelson dies, I will go into mourning. I don't think people. Willie's one of those people that is like somehow both overrated and underrated at the same time. Like, he's like, it's hard to say like, oh, Willie Nelson's underrated because he's like one of the greatest stars of all time, but still he's somehow underrated. Yeah, I just didn't have a big attachment to that song. I like the Johnny Cash version. I think my very favorite Johnny Cash performance, especially of like a, I don't know, Boy Named Sue is great. I do love Boy Named Sue. Which was written by Shel Silverstein. Okay, I've completely lost the thread on this puzzle. What was the last thing we even did? Fives. We were thinking about fives. We got this 5. That rules 5 out of the cage. Okay, we've ruled 5 out of the cage, so 5 is not there. So 5 is here or here. What else do we know about 5s? Anything interesting? There's no 5s or 2s in here. This is a little, yeah, little hedgehoggy. I was never super into Sonic. I mean, I didn't have a Genesis. I had friends with the Genesis, but I'm not very attached to it as a franchise or as a game, but I do like Sonic music. I feel like Genesis music in particular, just there's something special about Genesis music. Oh wait. Oh, I'm sorry, you're totally right. You're totally right. 5 is not ruled out. This is a different cage. I'm sorry. 5 is totally allowed to be in there. Thank you for catching that. I've gone on too long of a country music digression, and I just forgot what I'm doing in this puzzle at all. There's 2 very high digits in this cage. It's just annoying that that could still be 9. The only good thing about Sonic games is the music. I mean, that's probably true. It's probably kind of true. I think Streets of Rage has better music. I think, like, there really was something impressive about how fast it moved, just because nothing moved that fast. They weren't bad. They were. I don't think this Genesis Sonic games were bad. That they also just didn't have a lot of depth, other than like gotta go fast, which was cool and it was interesting to see. I just didn't think they were very fun. Okay, I'm like deeply lost on this puzzle now. What are we even doing? 3s are definitely in this cage. Up here. There's no 3s here. Well, I mean, come on. By the time you had a PS2, what can you do? That's not a fair comparison. Okay. What are we doing, everybody? See, is this true? Is this the problem? Am I being sabotaged here? Okay. What is going on? I feel like we did learn some things, right? Is that true? That we think we know something? The other half of this 1-3 pair is up here. I've unfortunately just kind of lost the thread of my logic, so I'm going to have to re-find it. Blobz, I'm sorry. Schedule, I don't know. That sounds like a skill issue. But I also kind of agree. Can we not know more about 3s? Doesn't it feel like we should? But maybe we don't. Because 3 could be here. This digit's a little bit interesting. Because it's not 1, 4, or 3. But annoyingly could be 2. This can still be a 2, right? This definitely sounds like it's for a commercial for oatmeal or something. You know what's a good game is Yakuza 7 Infinite Wealth, which I'm now 85 hours into. It is so good. Sorry, Yakuza 8 Infinite Wealth is so good. I'm really impressed with how much I've lost the thread on this puzzle. This is not a 2 or a 3, but it could be a 1. Yeah, okay, auto insurance commercial. Yeah, it's some kind of commercial. It's definitely commercial. You're right, it's not oatmeal. People are smiling, getting a good auto insurance rates or something. It is not. What are you talking about? Okay, sorry, box 6. Let's look at box 6. In box 6, if we wanted to think about 2s in box 6, it's not down here. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, 2 and 4 are looking at this. Okay, wait, so you're telling me any song that has the guitar is country music? Interesting. So, okay, both 2 and 4 look at this box. That is a true and undisputed fact. So both 2 and 4 have to go outside of that box. Right? So 2 is not anywhere there. 2 is not in this vault, and 2 is not there. So 2 is here somewhere. Could this be a 2? No. Okay, interesting. Right. There's definitely a 2 on here. Because 2 can't go here because it's seen by this 2. So in this column, there's already a 2-4 pair here. 2 is not here, and it's not either of those digits. So 2 is definitely in here. It's not there. So 2 is definitely there or there. That's exciting. And it's not, this can't be 5, because it could only be 5 if this was a 2. Oh, wait a minute. This is a minimum of 4. Oh, wait, it can be 5, because we could still have a 1 in here. Is that true? Yeah, 1 in fact is definitely over here somewhere. It's not here. Two is allowed to be there. This music just turned into like Batman. Stairway to Heaven. Okay, wait. We got to look back at box 9. I'm falling apart here. We put 2. Maybe I'm behind a little bit. That was almost like Tim Burton Batman. Now I don't even know what we're doing. Brickyard Blues. Done with this. Okay, I did that already. It does mean that 2 is down here, though, right? Oops. 2 is, good grief, in this neighborhood, which is a little bit interesting in terms of 2-ness, because that means there's no 2 here, and there's no 2 anywhere in the cage, and that's not a 2. So it does mean 2 is here or here, which means 2 is in here somewhere. A lot of pencil marks going on. Blobz, I feel like I often make a mockery of your puzzles, but I feel like I'm extra making a mockery of your puzzles this time. Does mean what? Means this is not a 2, because that would put a 2 next to. No, I'm sorry. That can definitely be a 2. This can't be a 3 though, because we've said that 3 is definitely in the cage. So this could never be a 3, right? This can't be a 3, because 3 is definitely in here. Which means 3 is definitely up here, right? Now I'm very confused. Do I trust these pencil marks? Why did I say these things? In this land, 3 is definitely not down here. We know there's a 3 inside here, so this is not 3 and this is not 3. And I've just said this can't be a 3 because it's looking at this cage, and I'm trying to tell you that I believe there's definitely a 3 in here. which means there's definitely 3 up here for sure. And if there's definitely a 3 up here for sure, then this is a 1. And if that's not a 1, then that is a 1. Have I said anything true? Yeah, how did we go straight to Skrillex from... Wait, is it... So Life Is Yours is this country music? I think I heard a guitar. According to Life Is Yours, this is country music. I don't make the rules. Okay, what did we just do? So 1s and 3s came untangled a little bit, which is exciting. Now we have 1s inside here, which has to be a bit restrictive on 1s in this neighborhood, right? 1s are not here or here or here. And a 1, and this is not a 1, so that is a 1. Which means 1 is going to be here or here. It's not there, so there's a 1 on this line for sure. That means this does see 1, 2, and 3. It's obviously not 7, 8, or 9, so that's 4, 5, or 6. I hear another guitar, so this must be country music. I was about to say, I wonder what the greatest country and western music song of all time is, but I already know the answer to that. It is, You Never Even Call Me By My Name. It was written originally by Steve Goodman, but the David Allan Coe is, that's the definitive performance. And I know it's the greatest country and western song because originally David Allan Coe, Steve Goodman said, I've written the greatest country and western song. And then David Allan Coe says, you have not written the greatest country and western song of all time because you didn't mention Mama or Prison or Trains or Getting Drunk. And then so Steve Goodman went and wrote another verse to the song and turned it into the greatest country and western song. This now sounds like Persona 5, like you're walking around the city in Persona 5. So the way that verse goes is, I was drunk the day my mom got out of prison, and I went to pick her up in the rain, but before I could get to the station in my pickup truck, she got run over by a danged old train. It's pretty good. It's pretty, it really paints a picture. You know, in the movie, when they go to Bob's Country Bunker, they only show them on screen playing what? The theme song to the TV show Rawhide and Stand By Your Man. Is that Tammy Wynette? And you know, presumably they played Rawhide a few times, right? I think they had a couple Rawhides. But I wonder what else the Blues Brothers played. What else would they have played that they would consider country music at Bob's Country Bunker? Did we place 3 in here? This pencil mark would say yes. Yeah, I think we did, because there's no 3 here. There's no 3 here. Neither of those digits are 3. And I have told you that I believe there's a 3 over here. In fact, so I think that is a 3. The 3 is pushed up. This is a little bit like Tropicalia. I love the Blues Brothers. That might be, I think I've said this before, I don't know for sure, but that might be the movie I've seen more than any other, because I just basically, when I was a teenager, just had that VHS tape basically on loop. Such a good movie. This is not 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So it's a high digit. This is also a high digit. There's a 9 in here. This song reminds me of, I think it was a B-side. There's a song Beck did. It was for a movie, like a Ewan McGregor movie nobody watched. Or it was at least on the soundtrack of that. Tropicalia. It's a great song. Okay, what are we doing? So we have 9s, 1s, and 3s are definitely in here. Right? So we just have to be careful that 9s, 1s, and 3s don't fall here. 1's over here. So the 9 in here we have to be slightly careful about, but not that careful about, right? There's no 9 here. That's not a 9. And this can't be a 9. And that can't be a 9. And that can't be a 9. But oh no, Blobz is getting. I said I just called you Blobz instead of Blobz because we were talking about Blobz. Wait, talking about Blobz Country Bunker. Blobz Country Bunker. They only listen to chill EDM. So okay, sorry, we're thinking about this box. Right. Okay, well, a few things about this box. Seems. There's no 1 on it. Well, how could you ever have a 5 here? That's absurd. Because the minimum you could have here. So there's no 5 here. Oops. Oops. Oh my gosh. Wrong shortcuts. Okay. But what does that mean? Does that mean that this is forced? The minimum this can be is a 4. So the maximum this can be is a 5, and we don't have a 1. So does that mean this has to be a 2-3 pair? Is that a true statement? The minimum this can be is a 5. And as soon as it's a 6, we have trouble. So I think I'm prepared to say that that's true. It's like fake Stray Cats. Sort of. It's not quite rockabilly, it's still kind of Americana-ish. I don't know what to say about it. Does that place the 3 this 3? Because there's... That's not a 3, and there's no 3 adjacent to this. The 4... Okay, so this just is a 9. This song is reminding me of something amazing. I wonder if I can find this song. There's no way. There's no way. I was really into like music tracker music, like song tracker, like Amiga song tracker music about 20 years ago, probably longer at this point, 23 years ago. And there was a guy named Lysander Lapine. Oh my gosh. Lysander Lapine has music on YouTube. Okay, but that song was called Bread Palace, and it was probably one of the best songs of all time. Does Bread Palace still exist? Oh no. So, mentioned on Last FM. Can I actually hear this song? God, that song was so good. Can I hear this? Oh no, I'll have to dig it up. I probably have the like actual sound tracker file somewhere. No, not the same. Okay, we gotta find Lysander Lapine. Gotta get my best people on it. Okay. We just placed a 9, it would seem. So in this box, this is the 9. So that's not a 9, and that's not a 9, which means this is not red. Right? Because red is not 9, so red is here, so neither of these are like ancient pencil marks at this point, thousands of years old. It seems we could still have red here. So one of these is a high-ish digit from 7 or 8. So that, does that mean? No, it doesn't mean there's a pair. That's not what that means at all. How are we doing on our arrows at this point? That is definitely a 5. So we already have 5 here. That can't be 9, so that's not 4. So that is 2. So 2 is in this cage. We knew that. So that's a 2. That's a 4. So this is a 7. So red is a 7. You're not 7. You're not 7. So one of these digits is a 7. One of these digits is a 7. You're not a 2. So 2 is in here somewhere. We said there was definitely a 2 here. So that 2 means there is a 2 here. So no 2, no 2. So this is the 2. So that's 5 plus 1. So that's the 6. So green is the 6. So this is also green, it would seem. I don't really need these colors, but you know, I always want to color things. So we need 4, 7, and 8 here. Is that true? That's not a 7. Is it possible for this to be a 4? If this was a 1, 2, and this was a 1, this could be a 4. It seems unlikely. I mean, it definitely has a 1. Is it possible for this to be a 2? That definitely can't be. Maybe it is possible. That is a 5, 6. So that could still be higher. That is not a 6. So we're running out of options here. It's a little hard for this to be a 5, right? That means this has to sum to 3, which means this has to be a 1, 2 pair. So we have this weird hope, sort of. I mean, I do at least. I have this weird hope that one of these is going to be a 1, 2 pair, and that this ends up being a very low digit, which seems possible. I'm sure I'm forgetting rules at this point. This digit's kind of interesting because it's going to forbid. We have our 9 already. So this is 4, 5, 7, 8, right? And that C's a 4, and it could be next to it anyway. That C's a 7. This is also 4, 5, 7, 8. I do kind of like this music. Is this country music? Is this 4, 5, 7, 8 actually? Because that would be exciting. There's no 4, 5 here because we see them. Sorry, I have to stand up for a second. There's no 5 here because this would also be, well, this is just also from 4, 7, 8. But we have to be really careful with this digit because this digit is gonna, well, that's funny because this, so this digit is this digit. Is that what's going on? This digit is
4, 5, 7, or 8, and it's not down here. It's also not in the box, so it's up here. So one of these is red, and it's not this, but one of you is red. One of those is definitely 5. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna stand up for 1 minute. I'll be right back. Excuse me. Well, hello. What happened to the music? What happened to our gentle, or like gentle When Harry Met Sally jazz? Messing. Okay. This is good. This is some upbeat music that's going to let us solve this puzzle. So, sorry. We were thinking about 4s, 7s, and 8s downstairs. We were saying that one of these is red, but this one can't be red because of adjacency. This digit is not in this cage, so this digit is red. Oops. And red is not a 5. So this is a 5. Is that true? Is that a true statement? Because it's a 7-8 pair. Why did I say this couldn't be 4? Because of that. So this is the 4. So we get a 7-8 pair. So that's not a 4. So one of you people is a 4. And the other is the other half of the 7-8. So this is still 4-7-8. With a definite 4 lingering somewhere. I feel like I'm going to get confused now because I made too many things red. Why did I pick red? Mistake. Although I sort of feel like I could have kept red going. But maybe not. Now I missed the colors. Okay, so in terms of our arrows, we're doing reasonably well. That 1-2 situation is a real pickle. This digit is definitely this digit, is definitely this digit. I am going to color that just because I want to. Fives and the 1s. So this... Oh, I thought I broke the puzzle for a second. Oh, scary. I was thinking about 5s. Okay, so... Oh, right. Didn't I already have this and I just deleted it? Oops. Rift Clown, how's it going? You are very correct. This definitely can't be 1. This never could be 1. What a foolish thing to say. So we know this is a 1 though, right? Which means we do force a 1 on this line as well. So I'm in deep suspense about these 2 lines. What if they're both 2s? I haven't considered that. So what we need to think about, though, is... Well, one thing we need to think about is where our housed digits will live in this land. Well, 7's a problem too. So we can't... thinking about 7 in here, there's no 7 there, obviously. 7 can't be adjacent to this volt. So one of these people is a 7. 5. None of those are 5, and 5 can't be volt adjacent. So one of these is 5. Where is the 2 in here? Oh, well, I don't know. 2 in here is not down here anywhere. 2 is definitely not in this volt. I thought we could do better than that a second ago. I thought I saw one more. Riff, it's okay. Welcome and hello. It's a standard, it's part of the culture here to say hello by telling me some very obvious thing that the best thing is something that I've said repeatedly and then I just still do wrong. Okay, 2 has a little more leeway here than I thought. I was hoping we were going to be able to push 2 over here, which would be... No, we can. Yeah, great. 2 can't be here or here. Because there's a 2... I'm sorry, 2 can't be here because it's this cage. So there is a 2 here or here. I did see that, and then I somehow forgot that I saw it. But it's true. We don't have to... We can't dilly-dally here. That means, right, 2... You're saying 2 is not in the cage. 2 is not there. That's not a 2. And 2 can't be next to here. So I think we are comfortable pushing 2 here. We're just going to push 2 up here, but 2 is there. So we get a 2 here. That's going to force the 3 here. Which is going to force the 9 here. Which does put a 9 here or here. But 9 can't be in this cage because of adjacency. That means this is a 9, which means this is a 7, which means this is a 5. So red appears to be 8. Is that true? Red appears to be 8? Somehow I don't trust that. This all happened so suddenly. I don't know if I trust my pencil marks. That means this is a 4, which means that this does have to be... No, sorry. It means this has to be a 3, not a 2. That's a 3. Oh, no. I'm sorry. It is a 2. There's a 1 here. Good grief. Okay, that is the 2. Or at least one of the 2s we were hoping to see. Do we push the 2? Does that mean this is also a 2? Right? But this is the 2 as well, so that's a 5. I don't know, Blobz, I don't know why I'm so excited about this. It's something I really wanted to be true for reasons I can't explain. I really wanted this double 1-2 pair. I mean quadruple 1-2 pair. There's your spiral. Life is yours. We're surrounded by 1-2s. Okay, so up here we have it, what? 6 and 8, and that's the 6, and that's the 8. I feel slightly terrified that I've missed something very obvious. Yeah, that is a... I mean, this is the... Oh gosh, I probably should have realized earlier that that's where we were headed. Oh my gosh, Blobz, did I just totally... Okay, I probably should have seen that a very long time ago. Okay, well I'm going to pretend I saw it earlier than I did, and just say that I think this is lovely. This little loop plus the other low digits. Okay. So that is 4, 5, and that's the... See, Life is Yours is way ahead of me. You saw the Coriolis effect. So we have ruled some of these numbers out of here, right? Well, we've at least ruled 6 out. So that's not a 6. So where does 6 go in this world? It has to go here. So 3 has to go here and here. That is the 8. What is the 4-9 pair? That means that can't be. Did we place the 7 and I just missed that? I guess so. So then that means this has to be the 8. And this has to be a digit known as 6. We have all of our arrows and such. We almost have our volts. I want to do this baby. This little baby volt. Baby volt. Well, I guess we know that. No, that's not true. Oh, it is true. Okay. 5's not there. Those digits are not 5. Wait, I thought I saw how to do this, and now suddenly I don't. Oh, obviously that's not a 5, and 5 can't be next to this volt, so that is the 5. You're a 5. 3, 4, 5. So you're 6, 7, 9. And that's the 9. That's the 6. That's the 7. You're 4. I'm suddenly worried I made a mistake somewhere. What do we have? 6, 7 pair, which is resolved. And then what is left in the world? 1, 2, so 4, 4, 9, which we don't even think about. We just get it. Okay, Blobz, I feel like I was like record. Thanks, everybody. That might have been a record for getting distracted for me. This is because the master of distraction, Life is Yours, has not been around recently. I love this. I love this little tornado. This little low arrow tornado is precious. I feel like I didn't fully appreciate it because I got too distracted by country music. Actually, oh, this isn't on LNG, right? It is beautifully symmetrical. I love the symmetry. I was daunted by the volt rules. The volts are cool. I feel like I kept missing that. It's just one of, it takes a while to like internalize your rule set. Okay, now that I have you all here, now that you're all trapped, we're going to talk about well, that was lovely. Thank you for sharing that. I am such a sucker for symmetrical puzzles. I have no tolerance for them. Look, here's the problem. Got this cute little thing. This is a total diversion. This has nothing to do with Raspberry Pi goes on the back. It's going to be great. It's going to be very cute. I'm not going to show this. I think it's actually okay. This is the nice thing about Children's Museum projects is I don't have to... there's no NDAs. Uh-oh, I definitely just broke something. Oops. I probably just shorted the Raspberry Pi. Did the printer just make a weird noise? Okay, I just crashed everything. Don't mind me. Where did I, So I'm working on this thing for the Children's Museum. It's this cute little, like, the idea is to take those kind of, like viewfinder, telescope, these kind of things. I'm gonna take one of these. Ooh, that's a cute one. Look at that one. Love that one. Okay, stealing that design for sure. But basically, it'll look something like this. It'll have a little screen in it, and the kiddos will be able to look around, and maybe you can like turn a knob and zoom, and all that's fine. And I have a prototype working. This is 3JS just on a Raspberry Pi. I don't really want to. I love 3JS, but I don't want to have to use a web browser. I started doing it with Raylib, but got annoyed with Raylib just because it was not properly parsing the GLTF files, and on and on and on and on. And then I'm back to this thing that I run into all the time for like embedded projects that need graphics. And what I want to just do is use Unity. Unity does not build ARM64 for Linux, where I could just run it on a Raspberry Pi. So either I have to build this on a Raspberry Pi in something that's more annoying to use, either because it's like 3JS and it has to run in a web browser, which would be okay. It's just like such a resource waste. Or it's something like Raylib, which is a little janky, or Open Frameworks or something like that. Or the other thing I was thinking is to just get like one of these cute x86 dev boards. They're just much more expensive, unfortunately. I mean, they have these first generation ones are really not that bad, especially when you factor in they already have storage on them. Like when you get a Raspberry Pi, one, they're just getting more expensive, but two, storage is, you have to add storage too. These little babies, what is the, I forgot which processor this is. I can't remember what graphics. Like Atom processors definitely suck, but I can't remember if this has the embedded. I don't think this is, excuse me, technically like the Intel HD graphics or UHD graphics. The Intel graphics naming is all ridiculous. Why do you tell me this and not just tell me what the, okay. This is UHD graphics, which is probably adequate for what I need to do. I thought about using a tablet. I would really prefer not to use tablets for museum stuff, so especially an iPad. They've used like little Android tablets for a few things. I have two, but I mean, I could. That would be the easiest way to just build. You have to jump through some hoops to put an Android tablet into kiosk mode, but in general, we try to not do anything that needs a battery. I mean, obviously you could wire it up, but the fact that there's a battery in it at all is a little unnerving, just because it has to be pretty bulletproof. What did you... Riff Clown, a little QNX. I don't know that. What is a neutrino? Wait, BlackBerry? Does Unity still build for BlackBerry? I think they removed that in recent versions. I would kind of like the Android is not a terrible idea. I don't think Unity builds for BlackBerry anymore. Not that I have to use Unity. It kind of depends on what the project ends up being. I know they used to. I kind of thought they got rid of it in recent versions. Like, if it truly is just look at a skybox, it doesn't matter. That's very easy to do anything. If it's a minimally interactive skybox, that's also fine. But if I need to, like, do more complex interactions and complex like staging of animated objects, I really prefer to do that in Unity. I mean, I could build it all as a GLTF and trigger different I wouldn't want to buy anything. I've used Nook for a few things. The one downside with the Nook, like the what's its face? These guys are Nooks, like this, and the secondary machine is run from a Nook, and it's totally reasonable. It's a few $100. It's annoying because like by the time again you add storage and memory, it's already $500 or $600, whereas this is $300 and already has storage and memory. So I prefer this over a Nook. Although once you get into those crazy, like, whatever it is, Minisforum. And I don't want it to be secondhand, because it needs to be something that's potentially easy to replace on the road, or that we can buy several of. But there are these little mini PCs as well that are much cheaper than a Nook. So I don't think I would want to do anything secondhand for this. I'm trying to decide, like, does it matter that much? It's just a trade-off. Like, on the one hand, you're like, wow, this is $300, but that is nothing in terms of labor time. If I can save days of work because I can use Unity, the extra couple $100 for the price of the device doesn't really matter that much. But also, I want it to be small enough to fit inside of the doodad. Like, I want it to fit inside this, probably. Doesn't have to. I mean, obviously this could be on a base, and then the base could have whatever needed to be in there. So I don't know. I did order a Apple TV. You just don't have enough control over. So I don't think an Apple device like this is pretty good as far as like it also has a built-in Arduino, basically, which is also nice because I will need a microcontroller because I'll probably use a rotary encoder for the knobs. The motion sensor I have already... I lost it. Where's the motion sensor? Where's the motion sensor? There it is. The motion sensor is pretty great. Yeah, but a Nintendo Switch, any of these like consumer devices, you can't reliably, you know, this is basically has to operate like an appliance. I just wanted to plug in and turn on. And so Raspberry Pi is really easy to do that. It's just lame. I am bummed that I mean, I can still figure out how to do it with Raylib. It's just annoying that the GLTF code just instantly didn't work, and I never feel like it's a good sign if like the very first thing I'm trying to do is not properly functioning. So this thing is pretty cute. You can just put Ubuntu on it. You don't have to boot into X11. Like it could just boot into the Unity app. I could probably still do like an overlay FS kind of thing. It is cool. The built-in microcontroller is pretty cool. Like some set of these GPIO pins are actually just straight up, whatever it is, that Amtel chip that's common on Arduinos. It just has one of those that it internally talks to over serial, but it's on the board, which is cool. Yeah, I did a project. You know, on the one hand, you know, there's a budget for this project, so it doesn't. If it was just me building it, I would be like, how do I do this as cheaply as possible? Like I did that. That's not documented yet. I gotta document projects from last year. I mean, it's this thing. I did like this as a artwork for someone as kind of a frame port. Oh, that's funny. The chroma key is losing its mind on this. Wait, why? Why is input broken? Oh, there it goes. That's weird. Anyway, I did this, like I got a really cheap Kindle Fire, and it was such a pain to like get past all the Amazon stuff to make it work in kiosk mode. So it's just because it's a thing I kind of keep running into, I would like a good solution for it. Like, I'm pretty pleased with Raspberry Pi for most of my audio stuff, though at a certain point I would like to get all of that working with an ESP32. Speaking of, I still need to document this thing as well. This cute fellow, which is basically ready to document. It's basically all in there and on and doing stuff. I just need to actually document it. Like, I need to also document the musical chair. This one I keep not documenting because I keep thinking I'm going to add some kind of indicator light, and then I just don't do it. But I feel like the video is going to be boring if I don't. I just need something that like registers the input. It's too hard. Anyway, the point I was trying to make is that I frequently run into this problem where for many projects, I feel very good about using an ESP32. For audio projects, maybe at some point I will just also do that on an ESP32, but like I'm reasonably fine for like audio and networked stuff using a Raspberry Pi. It's just things that need computer graphics. I don't have a go-to favorite device at this moment. If Unity just built, I mean, I feel like the Raspberry Pi 5 GPU is adequate enough if Unity built ARM64 Linux binaries. It just doesn't. I could build a WebGL binary, but then I'm back in Chrome, and I do not trust Chrome as an operating system because it is a garbage machine. So, I don't know. That latte pina seems not bad. It's pretty cute, in fact. Did I get one? About $300. Yeah, but this is, it's for, again, if it was just for me, I would scrounge together whatever, but this is like, one, I'm going to make multiple of those things, and it needs to be like readily available replacement parts, basically. So like if we got these, we'd probably get a couple extra of them so that if anything was wrong, you could just mail them the board to swap it, because even at $300, that's cheaper than like having to send somebody to where, whatever. So to be clear, like this exhibit is going to travel all over the country. Maybe I could get a deal. I mean, I feel like this is not really a bad deal when you factor in that it already has a microcontroller built in, which is normally an extra expense. It already has memory and storage built in, which is already an extra expense. Like if I was doing this, for example, with an Intel NUC, it would already cost more than this before memory and storage and microcontroller. In fact, by the time we did all of that, it would probably cost twice this. I mean, it is possible. I don't know. This would be harder. Like sometimes for the Children's Museum, since they're a nonprofit, you can get people to give you a deal, but I feel like that's less common with electronics. I just think this thing is kind of cool. It's just a little overkill. I feel like if it was a little cheaper, I would be all for it. And in this one in particular is such the graphics requirements for the simplest version, Alibaba knockoffs, I'm sure there are. Then you have to worry about like driver support and stuff. Like the simplest version of this will run on a Pi, no problem. So it's not necessarily a performance problem, it's a complexity of development problem. And if it really is just like a look around and zoom thing, it's probably fine. Maybe I'll try to go back to Raylib. It's just as disappointing that Raylib was not for GLTF-B files, like the files that have the binary that have like assets embedded in them. It was not working in them. I admittedly did not try it with normal GLTFs with externally referenced texture, so maybe that would work. Like obviously it can load and display models. I don't know what was really wrong with that GLTF. I just wish there was something that felt reasonably straightforward to develop with and was very reliable and performant. And for me personally, Unity is like the best balance of all those things. If only it did ARM64 builds for Linux. It's kind of weird that it doesn't. Isn't that kind of weird? That is the editor, though. Wait, what is this? Wait, what? Whoa, what? I didn't know about this. Look at this crazy thing. Where did this come from? Unity has a special editor for... What? What is this thing? Unity has a special premium runtime for embedded Linux? How did I not know about this? Contact the sales team. Usually, if you have to contact the sales team, it means you can't afford it. That is, especially the fact that they call it premium. What a weird thing. I wonder why. I mean, I guess they figure people doing that are using it to make appliances, like making like whatever, like an appliance where Unity is going to be the full interface for it, and they want to charge more. I didn't know that was a thing. Ben, I think I forgot to. Wasn't there like a free window where you could upgrade from Plus to Pro, and then I just forgot to? I know. It should be free. I want to know, what is this? I wonder how much this actually costs. So I can do the... I mean, I don't know what do I even get from that? What do I get? So they do support it for industrial customers. I'm gonna say I don't quite qualify as an industrial customer. You want me to call them right now? I don't think I care enough. I'm leaning towards this thing. I wish it was a little cheaper. There's also this thing, but I don't think it actually is a little cheaper, huh? Here's the problem with this though. Excuse me. I think this is like probably similar power level. I think this actually has a Pentium. This is actually a faster computer than the Latte Panda, I think. So, Pentium is faster than Atom, right? Was this an Atom? What was this processor? No, this is a Celeron. Does 2 gigahertz quad core, and this is also quad core, around 2 gigahertz. So I think they're like in the ballpark in terms of compute. and I think they're in the ballpark. This actually looks like it has faster graphics. The sneaky issue is this is only 165, but as you can see, the these slots has no onboard memory. So you can add memory, obviously, but I don't think it has... There's some devices you get that have like a little bit of onboard storage at least, but I think this has no storage or memory, basically. So you could be like, okay, well, I could get this, buy the storage and buy the memory, which is probably another $100-ish. And at that point, you're already at this price. We're very close to it. Also, I don't know if this one has the weird secret microcontroller. Like the secret Arduino. It might. Did I call yet? Yeah, they said no. No, I didn't call. I'm not going to call it. Not calling Unity. So you would need, if you needed separate microcontroller, I mean, this might have some kind of GPIO. Does this have any GPIO? This says no GPIO pins. Oh my gosh, Blobz, you're still here? I didn't know you were still here. Blobz, thank you again for the puzzle. This is a very weird digression to have at the end of a Sudoku video. It's on my mind. I'm going to go through Raspberry Pi for this. There's a prototyping session next month, and I'll probably just go Raspberry Pi for that. I'm pretty tempted by this thing. Okay, I'm actually leaving. I gotta like finish some projects. We gotta finish this thing. It's basically done. I just have to document it. The problem is I need to like add a light to it or something. That was it. When I was like designing the enclosure, I kept getting hung up on that, and then finally I was like, okay, stop getting hung up on it. Just make it. And so I made it, and then I was like, this is great. I love it. It looks great. But where's the light? It just needs something. I could put a little light on top. I was considering getting like a little hat like this. What about this? It's a little hat up here. Right here. Okay, yeah, with the tomato. I did consider that. So I can't get too close to the side because that's where the magnet thing is. Ben likes the hat. Not totally sold on the hat, but do you think light behind the grid? I mean, I potentially could. The problem is there's like there's a speaker back there. If I was designing it now instead of 6 weeks ago, I would probably have designed it such that there was just a little more negative space here and put like a little strip that I could put some white plastic behind. But I already made it. I already painted it. I just already did so much work. I just want it to be done. It looks pretty nice. I was thinking of those crazy indicator bulbs that we put on the like a panel indicator. That's not a bad one. It's $126 for some reason. But this kind of thing, they're all the wrong voltage, so we'd have to rework it to be 5 volt. Also consider just like making it a separate thing, like a separate object. Or I just don't care and I just make it and I'm finished with it and I move on with my life, which is probably the actual correct answer. So I was going to try to make something like this. haven't got a new build plate on my 3D printer, so it wouldn't be textured. Or it could be a separate object, which would be kind of funny. Did you shoot some vacuum tubes? That's not what those are for. Need some cool Nixie tubes, though. We can't really use a vacuum tube to indicate things. You use Nixie tubes, though. Pretty those are. Ugh. Beautiful. Okay, I have to run. I gotta just get over it. Just do it. Oh yes, a cathode ray tube. Interesting. Where could I get one of those? I would like a... So funny to think just how little time ago I was so ready to get rid of all these CRT monitors I have to get LED or LCD displays, and now I kind of miss the CRTs. I admit it. I miss them. You know, that's kind of an interesting idea, is the idea of there's no visual indicator. It just like shines light behind it. That's kind of funny. But then I have to build the whole interface for it. I need to just be done. I just wanted to have like some... Helio, thanks for stopping around. Stopping around? Hanging around. Stopping by? That was a weird portmanteau of a phrase. Okay, I'm actually leaving. Everybody's bored with this. We'll get back to... Yeah, hidden LEDs, probably not about it. There's unfortunately very little clearance here because of the way the magnet panel works. So there's really not that much room, but it could be like here or something. Kind of don't want to, but I could. I just think I glued this on very slightly crookedly, but I also just need to not work on it anymore, is the other thing. No, the magnets are glued in. I'm gonna wire up those magnets. That's outrageous. It's too hard. I get hung up on things like this, and then I just now haven't touched this for weeks. Okay, I'm seriously leaving. Life is yours. You're so good at distracting me, but I appreciate it. I've missed you. I've got to start doing some streams where we work on some stuff, even though all the Sudoku people hate it, which who can blame them? Okay, I'm actually leaving. You're all the best. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.